to deliver for him to do a service for council for a radio station, and then up to date. Some parts have been delivered, some parts are not been delivered. So according to the entry management reports, most of the council suppliers used to be councillors. So this Sayakuna enterprise was owned by a particular councillor called Momon Lamin Sanyang. So it is in the entry management report, and we will furnish with those documents. So during the press conference by the former councillors, our response to them, Mayor Bensouda have a cordial relationship with all the staff of KMC. Mayor Bensouda never visited any staff of KMC. The appointments are made for mayors to be accessible to the people. The reason why mayor makes people to take an appointment for him, he does not want his office to be chaotic. For people to say that I'm the first guy who came, I'm the second guy who came. No, you based on an appointment, you will book an appointment, you come and see the mayor. So, and then two, if we make an mayor's office to be that much open, at the end of the day, for the mayor to deliver to the public or to the resident of KMC will be very difficult. So that's why there are days that he allocated for purely those who want to see him at his own private office, you can go there and see him. But in fact, the mayor worked from Monday to Saturday. People can attest to that. For them, we all know that the former council, they work from Monday to Friday. But for him, he worked from Monday to Saturday. And then again, Mayor Bensouda is the first mayor in the entire KMC who uses on private vehicle for a 1 year without council giving him an official vehicle for a mayor. It is all in the record. The first design for the new building was not suitable for the current operation of KMC. That's why mayor office was moved. But the deputy mayor office remained downstairs. We hear during their press briefing. Because most of the previous design for this building was badly been done. It was not suitable for the current operation of the KMC. That's why at the time we came, we found out we have to redo the designing. Because how can you have an office without a proper ventilation? How can you have an office without a proper toilet? That's why even currently, even the taxpayers, when they come here, they in fact struggle for them to have access to a toilet and other facilities. KMC owed $3 million to Mboul Clinic in 2015-2016. The new council was taken to court to settle this bill because the medical insurance was abused. So according to them, it's the mayor who stopped the medical insurance. I think they are misleading the public. I think they call themselves former councillors, and some of them they serve for 2 terms. It is not the mayor who takes a decision. It is the general council. And if we check during the general council proceedings, mayor does not have a voting right unless when there is a tie. That's the time the mayor votes. And it is not the mayor who stopped this medical insurance. It is the general council. And a note, during this year, KMC was blacklisted by all the insurance companies. So that's why World Clinic was doing a favor for them. Staff of the KMC, we are going there. Not only the staff, some people are giving it to their personal friends. So the bill was too huge, they were unable to pay it. So the time we are, the time we assumed office in 2018, 2019, the particular state clinic take council to court, and then we have to settle this amount. KMC gross salary in December 2017 on record was $3,068,560.0 bututs as of December 2017. So for them, they were saying that the KMC salary, gross salary used to be $2 million, which means they are misleading the public. The reason why KMC salary rise because of the following. There was 100% increment on pensioners' allowance. I think we all hear that through the central government. Transport allowance was increased from 500 to 1,500. And then salaries increment. In 2021, there was a salary increment, and 2022, there are salary increments. So, yes. So I think these people were misleading the public. So, 26 September 2017, Gangwalk and KMC rural infrastructural projects. KMC office complex, Dadakunda Sabini Market, private ward at Bundu, Maternal and Child Hospital, concrete road at Telemin Girifilukunda, Kololi Spy Bar, Ladakunda Velingara Road. So this entire project cost $85,743,282.25. So KMC counterpart contribution was 8.1%. in this. So the total counterpart contribution KMC did was 7,673,708.32 bullets. So due to cash flow in 2017, because this agreement was signed in September 26, 2017, due to cash flow during the former council time, they were only able to pay for only $2 million. That's why the project was very slow. Most of the project was not started during their time as a council. So the entry management in 2018 paid only $4 million. So the current council during our time, we paid about $1,607,000 paid. So if they claim that they are the one who funded all the project, no. It was during our own budget, that is 2018, $4 million is been paid by the interim, and then the last payment was $1,673,708.32 during our time. So the following project funded by taxpayers' money, because they are claiming that we do not do any projects, and all the monies that we collected from the taxpayers' money, we siphon it. So which is not true, and then they are misleading the public. So the projects that we did through the taxpayers' money. One, construction of Talini Dilflukunda Market, Vuazon fencing, KMC Annex Driveway, Multipurpose Center, renovation of Ladukunda Market Cross, extra 5 markets, construction of Ladukunda Victory Market, 24 waste compactor trucks, installation of 10 skip bins, clearing of 50 illegal dump sites, payment of staff salary and allowances, construction of Bakure dump site fencing. So this Bakure dump site fencing, I think that councillor who called himself the former finance committee chairman, he was misleading the public. He in fact mentioned GIZ project. There is no GIZ project here. It's called BMZ project. And then he said that that project fence, I think the first sec in fact clarified that one. I think I would refer his attention to that one, that the fencing is 100% done by KMC. So fuel and lubricant for operations, procurement of pickup trucks for KMC staff, procurement of 70 motorbikes for KMC staff, salary increment of KMC staff. So during that time, there was not that much proper mobility for KMC staff. All those things, we bought all these mobilities for KMC staff. That's why the life of the KMC staff, previous council and currently, there is a huge gap. So KMC counterpart projects, the projects that they are claiming that they are funded by our partners, not taxpayers' money, that is not true. KMC also did some contribution. So the KMC counterpart projects are SOS BMZ projects. This project, the project included in that project are access roads within the dump site, that is the water and roads, 10,000, that is water and road, tree planting, weighing bridge, and then recycling sales. And then most of these funds are not controlled by KMC, but SOS. They have the project coordinator office is based at SOS, State and Village, and then they are the one coordinating the project, not KMC. So KMC Gangworks project. So this is what they are claiming, that they are the one who, in fact, take care of the project, whilst they are in fact misleading the public. The construction of KMC new office complex, Jiliflukunda Road, Ladukunda Market, Ladukunda Welingara Road, and then Cololis Fiber, is where KMC spent about $6 million. It's not them. They only, in this project, their council, they spent only $2 million. But the rest of the money was done by our interim and then during our tenure in office. But for them, they only spent only $2 million. All these things are on records. So KMC CAP project, that is the new project. So the project includes 10,000 waste bins. I think every household, we did this launching in a few months ago, last year, and then it was inaugurated and then it was on the TVs. And a weighing bridge at the dump site again, and then 1 waste compactor trucks. And then in the project, they buy 3 SUV vehicles for the staff for the project. And then 3 planting. So during our time, the time we came in office, so we find out that based on the entry management record, former councils were involved in the illegal leasing of KMC property. Most of the prime land of KMC have been illegally sold to an individuals. Example, that is, or leased to an individual. Example, that is the KMC Youth Monument. a youth monument that is purposely designed for the youth of KMC. It is youth we have been deprived not to use it for free, and then it was released to Gamtel. Gamtel. All these things are on record. Again, the Bakode woodland. We are the youth and then the communities of Bakode normally use as their recreational center. The youth of Bakode, we have been deprived from that one too. And then it was sold to Swami Inde, or leased to Swami Inde. So again, the KMC multipurpose center, that is just next, that is the Impex roads. Two, some portion of that land too was been sold to an individual tribe, and in fact most of these lands, they are normally sold to non-Gambians, and which is very sad. And then most of these, recently we have a lot of projects for recreational parks that is going to change the life of the youth within the municipality. But most of these farmlands have been sold by the former councils. So for them, if they claim that they have something for the youth empowerment, I think they were deceiving the youth. So again, so KMC did not increase tariffs 100%. They claim that KMC increased tariff 100%. No, KMC, the time they came, that was in 2019. There was an increment in tariffs, but not up to 100%. So again, they were misleading some business community about the partial cost recovery too. That one too is not true. The partial cost recovery is about the environmental impact of a particular business. That has nothing to do with waste management, waste collection. So that's what I have. And then we have few people whom you know that during the press briefing too, their names have been mentioned. I think they are here for them to clarify themselves. Thank you.
Before that, we have.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think my colleague, Councilor Honorable Karamosise, has done justice to why we are here. For us, it's just more of beefing up what he has said or adding some of the valuable points, especially on the part of how our salaries have increased from the 3 million that was being spent by the previous council to why we are spending now 6 million when it comes to salaries. Another important point that should be noted is that they had daily pay for most of the janitors at $50, and when we came, we found that to be very inhumane. We found that to be something against social justice, to see that Gambians were living under the $2 per day United Nations set standards. These and many more reasons were why we increased the daily pay from $50 to $200 for each of our janitors. And I think this is very important to note. Another important point to note is that we had also, because when we were coming, the municipal police was also disbanded. But when we came in, we also began to employ or to form a new municipal police. This increased our staff number too. The other thing was also that there was a payment increment, like my colleague councilor had said, which was from in 2021 and also in 2022, which was a 30% increment and also a 50% increment. So for them to say that we are overspending based on the fact that our salaries have increased would be misleading the public. In fact, what we have done is that we have put dignity in labor and made sure that Gambians are being paid what they deserve. And also, especially when it came to the idea of misusing funds, the Honorable Councillor has mentioned thoroughly how funds were being misused in the KMC before we came into council. And good thing is that we have all of this on record and we will share it with the public, for the public to see. You would realize that yesterday when they held their press conference, nobody had a single piece of evidence or paper with them. But what we have done is that we have tabulated everything that will be needed by the media, and before you leave, we will share these evidences with you. With the tractors also, he had made mention, the former mayor had made mention that during his tenure, or before he left 24 tractors and also skid bins here. We will want to assure the people of KMC that we didn't find any waste management tractor here that was usable. In fact, the only one I think that was here didn't even have a windscreen, which was very hazardous for the drivers and also the citizens of KMC. We all live in KMC, we all grew up in KMC. We all know that our garbages were not being being taken care of by the municipality. So if you had 24 or 25 trucks in the municipality at that time, where were they and what were they being used for? When you also talk about the medical insurance, he spoke about how we had, General Council had stopped medical insurance for our staff. But they haven't told you that we are currently working on improving healthcare within the municipality by working with by also working with one of our community development health centers under the leadership of Kalinding South. Yes. We are currently working on a project with the Council of Kalinding South to make sure that we can have our staff to go to our own hospitals. So these are all developments that we are working on currently, and also we will bring this to the public's eye. They also made mention that we are in debt. This is not factual. And in fact, when we came to KMC at the time, we found our accounts in red. And this is not a secret to anyone. And also we have shown evidences to prove these things. Going further, they also spoke about Ami Bensouda being Ami Bensouda and Co being the lawyers of the council. But this is where we have worked to make sure that there is no conflict of interest. Because I remember the first day we came here, Mayor Bensouda had told us that my family's law firm are the lawyers of KMC. I cannot be at the mayor of KMC and still have my family to be our lawyers. From that day on, we sat together as a general council and changed it. He could have been someone that would say, well, this was what has been happening. It doesn't have anything to do with me, and it's about the general council. But he made sure that there was no conflict of interest and made sure that we did the right thing. And on that, we want to thank him so much. And Mayor Bensouda has been one of the people that have been really fostering unity in the Gambia. They have tried, by all means, to try and change the words that he said during one of his meetings in London Corner. Even yesterday, so disappointing that a senior citizen, like the former mayor of KMC, YANKUBA, COLLEY, will go on to say that Jolas are proud of who they are and that the mayor was trying to bring ethnocentrism within the municipality. We want to make it categorically clear that this is a wrong statement. The mayor has never in any of his statements mentioned any ethnicity. In fact, what he said has been backed by proof that we have seen that people that came from outside of the Gambia and from a certain region came to the Gambia, and those bills were being footed by the KMC. When you talk about that region, majority of the people that live in that region are not even Jola. Majority of the people that live in the Casamance region are Mandinkas and Fulas. And the good thing about Mayor Bensouda is that nobody can pinpoint and say that he comes from any ethnic group. This is why I believe that he is the unifier of this country. And this is something that we have to embrace as a people and acknowledge, that he is someone that identifies as Gambian. Because nobody will tell you that Mayor Bensouda is Wolof, nobody will tell you Mayor Bensouda is Fula, nobody will tell you that Mayor Bensouda is Mandinka, nobody will tell you that Mayor Bensouda is Jola. So these are the things that we need to empower, and these are the things that we need to embrace, to see that we are able to push the identity of Gambia and not a certain tribe or a certain ethnicity. They have also made mention that we have given contracts to our party members, that we have given, we have salaries for our senior party members, and these are all false information. And we have always said, because they per se are saying that they have access to our records, because all they were saying is that they had alleged that came from the records, and they have people giving them those information. If it is true that we are paying Fal and Songo and AGM Seka salaries, why don't they tell the people giving them the records and information to give them evidences of those? So these are the questions we will also want to ask them, and we are hoping they will be brave enough to also show evidences like they have called on yesterday to have a press conference. They should also show evidences. You don't call, Gambians are not gullible. Gambians are not people that you call today and just sit in front of the media and speak without giving evidences. We have evidences, we have vouchers, we have invoices that can prove that they have done corrupt acts, and it's time for people to take accountability for their actions. Thank you very much. On that note, we would also like to welcome two of the staff who were accused, that we were accused of maligning them and also intimidating them for them to join our political party. They will come here and they will speak on their own behalf, and nobody will speak for them, and they will tell us the reality on the ground and how accommodating KMC has been for everyone, regardless of your political affiliation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilors, for your wonderful press conference. I'm joining this press conference for the simple fact that I was also mentioned during their press conference. It is rather unfortunate that when a position holder, somebody who served at the higher cover of our municipality, will not have anything to say other than pointing finger to someone who have been very supportive to him throughout his stay. I don't want to mention politics, but I may, because these are one of the reasons why people are accusing and pointing fingers to people. I was a very staunch supporter of YANKUBA himself, and by extension the former president, that everybody knew I was the regional youth mobilizer. By the virtue of my citizenship right, I need to, support any political party I want to. So I was very free to support him, and in fact, one of his right hand. Well, yesterday they had a press conference, which was very unfortunate, that I am given a position at the council here, or I am frustrated politically to a level that I have to join them in order to salvage myself. I said this is not true. I am promoted based on my performance in these institutions. I have been here for over 30 years, and I am serving diligently, and I was serving from one unit to other. Unfortunately for me, for this time around, a new unit was created out of my own commitment, out of my own work, out of my good intentions that I have for the council. I was singled out to head that new unit. I must say kudos to these councillors who have seen it under any other circumstances that Lamin can do this job. That's why I'm given the opportunity to serve as any other Gambian. So as a matter of fact, I want to refute that statement. I want to say it is very unfortunate for them to organize such a press conference, and they said they were citing example of me and Bibi Dar. Unfortunately, they get it all wrong. These people can bear me witness. Since they came here, I have never been in their political party. I was not even supportive to them. It was always a joking relations between me and the current mayor. Whenever he sees me, he will tease me. APRC, I will say UDP. And my very first time of meeting with him was, my first word I tell Mayor Bensouda was, I have done everything humanly possible for you not to come to this institution, but it's God who endowed it for you, God who destined it for you to come into these institutions. And that's it. I'm a Gambian, a genuine Gambian who is serving an institution. Anybody who feels, or anybody I feel he is performing better, I should join him, obviously. These are one of the reasons that compels me to join Mayor Bensouda administratively, wholeheartedly, work with him without any other ambiguity. I work with him diligently to a point a standing ovation was given to me in these very chambers. So when the councillors deemed it necessary that Lamin can run this unit, that was the time they gave me the opportunity to run it. In fact, I think qualifications are based on your outputs as human beings. Qualifications are based on what you do and if you can do it to the best of your ability. That's the time people rate you. I developed my own activity plans. I developed my own daily work plans with my staff. I prepared my report and submitted to my line of directors. I have never been torn away that what I am doing is not right. So as an outsider like him, after knowing my potentials, I would rather say these people know my potentials more than them, because they did not harness my potentials. After having done everything for them, they did not harness my potentials. I would rather want to applaud the Mayor of Bensouda and his team for knowing what exactly I can do, and I'm given the opportunity, the privilege to do it for the people of this municipality. I thank Mayor Bensouda for the wonderful, trust they have in me. And I believe with the support of others, I will excel. My role, I'm serving as in this institution. I'm the manager for serving anti-littering. And I am calling everybody to join me because these are concerted efforts. Without the public, I may not be succeed, or the institution may not succeed on the aspect of anti-littering. So therefore, I'm using this opportunity for every member, every city dweller to come forward, join hands with me. When I said me, I mean the institutions. I am only serving at the helm of affairs at anti-littering, but does not mean it is mine. I am calling on everybody to join hands with me. We work together to realize the dream and aspirations of these wonderful councillors, because they had the foresight. It has never happened here before. Nobody has thought of creating anti-littering. It is them who created, because they knew it is part of their mandate. This anti-littering was created, NEMA Act was created in 2007. I will vividly remember. I was lucky also to serve them during the APRC era. I was lucky enough to serve this institution as one of the interim committee members. During my time as interim committee member, records are there for everyone to see. I was putting emphasis on this anti-littering. I was all along yearning that the opportunity will be given to me to put at least credit on it. And luckily enough, I'm given the opportunity to serve. So therefore, journalists, I know your responsibilities are to disseminate information. And I would love if YANKUBA, the way I have listened to their press conference keenly, let him also, and his team listen to me very, by the virtue of longevity I serve in these institutions, and all what I am doing was to the interest of the institution. Come on, I feel they have done the right thing. I thank you all. If I may take anybody's time, people are, signaling me that I am spending more time, but thank you very much. And we are getting used to each other now. Telo, Gainako, and on GTTV, all of you, I thank you all for your wonderful listeners. Thank you.
Right. Good morning. Oh, good afternoon. Yes. Actually, my name is Bakari Bidabo, commonly known as Bidabo. Generally, I don't want to comment on this matter, but when my name was mentioned, then that is the point that I have to come and then clarify issues that are of great concern. And really, I'm so much disappointed because when I listened to this conference, actually, I saw no merit, absolutely, of holding that conference. Modlamin Baji in particular mentioning my name, that I was frustrated. I was like, what? Because Modlamin himself knows me very well, and everyone who sits out there at that conference knows me very well. Because we all joined this council the same day. We were all sworn in to office the same day. I was a councillor elected, representing Bakau Newtown Fajara Ward. Mayor, former Mayor YANKUBA COLLEY was a councillor representing Talinde Ward in 2002. Modlamin Baji, a councillor representing Kibo Town in 2002. All those you saw, or the press conference panel, we were all former councillors. And so many things happened. My advice to them is to shut down their mouth, to keep quiet. Because we know so many things and we don't want to say that. Let them not scratch the old wounds because it's not important. Let us forge ahead to have a new Gambia. This is new Gambia with new ideas. And that's what this administration under the dynamic and visionary leadership of Talib brought here from 2018. He's saying Adama Barrow.
All of them seated there never liked Adam Barrow before. They forgot that. At the Congress in Guyana, they forgot quickly that I wrote the resolutions, I wrote the reports. They forgot quickly that I have evidence of all that here with me. Let the sleeping dog lie. You see, I never want to comment on this. But I was a manager in 2015, and they know who Bibi Dabo is when it comes to my work. I am competent, I'm efficient. And they know that. When I was a councillor, I was one of the best, among the best councillors. And we have councillors who can attest that. Musa Mendy, living witness. Before we made YANKUBA COLLEY himself as deputy mayor, they all knew. Member Gasamai was seated. They all knew how YANKUBA came to be a deputy mayor. They knew. Let them not make me talk now. Because I don't want to talk. Because they know very well. During our caucus, when we start voting for YANKUBA to become a deputy mayor, who won that? They know. Not him. But Ganaw Yala Marco Matabuneka deputy mayor. Ganaw Yala. Ask Pa Usman Fati, former councillor, let him ask Modlamin Jame, nominated councillor for youth, former councillor, let him ask all those who seated there how he won. I never spoke about him. I never spoke about anything about them. I'm doing my work as a citizen. In 2015, I was a manager and traveled to Ghana. I came back from the training on disaster management. So 2015 and 2018, over 3 years. So how can they frustrate me? Council here, deployment is key. To redeploy a staff to another unit is key. Modlamin Badi was a market collector before. And he knew that before he became a councillor. He was a staff of KMC. So anytime a staff can be redeployed, I was redeployed to Charles Yao, and I'm very much happy to go to Charles Yao, because do you know why? Now I know education system. Because I was exposed to another level of development and how education is run. So kudos to Talib and his staff. This council is transformed. The strategic plan he talked about, I was the focal person. I was a key player in developing that strategic plan. He knows that. The Park Peck report, he knows that. I was the architect and Judge Cham was supporting me. The West Management Plan, the same thing he was talking about. But you comparatively, you cannot compare the two. The current administration, you cannot compare the two. The revenue now and the revenue before, you cannot compare the two. From 2002 is here. Our actual revenue was 26 million. And in 2003, 36 million. Today, what is our actual revenue? You're talking about 250 something million. So a great significant improvement has been done, and services also to the people. There was never a ward development offices before. And this is a provision in the Act that there shall be, not even may, there shall be ward development offices that should be created by the council for WDC to operate effectively and efficiently. Let him not quote Local Government Act before me. He knows me. Let him not quote provisions in that act. So you cannot compare the two. In real terms, today, you will not be able to distinguish who is APRC and who is UDP and who is NRP in this institution. So it's not about frustrating, it's not about frustration, it's about reality. You come to this institution, which party you belong to? During the celebration of the former President Jammeh, those who are in APRC as we speak will come and celebrate it here. You can wear any t-shirts you want and while you are a staff here today. You dare not do that yesterday. Let them not scratch the old wounds. So the most important thing we should talk about is the transformation of this institution. At what level? It's very important. There are so many things that happened before. What they have read here, the bills. I was the one who always escorted cultural troops, tactic cultural troops for Kanilai Cultural Festival. I was also, every cultural festival, I was the head that lead the group to Kanilai and spend 1 month, 10 days. I'm not saying it's bad. It's the fact. Why are they refuting it? And tribal issues should not come to play. Mayor Bensouda never mentioned any tribe. All the journalists who followed us on this mayoral tour actually know he never mentioned that. People coming from Casamas. Who are those? Is he referring to Jolas? Is it they are looking for political score? That can never be. My mother is a Jola from, the father of my mom came from Foyi Kandung, Jejukuna. I am more of a Jola than most of them. Only, I think, Modlamin Baji is a Jola who speaks Jola. The rest, maybe Jola surname, but they cannot speak Jola. So, this country, let us not use tribal line to score points in politics, because we're dividing ourselves. We're creating problems. Mayor Bensouda is a development-oriented individual, and he transformed this council with his councillors. What we are experiencing today, what this municipality are enjoying, there is no case in point that you can record in the history of this council. The tractors they're talking about, please, I beg them. How we acquire those tractors is from Yajami. Because they were assembled here at Kotu. And we procure them from the government of the Gambia. But they cannot keep up, because that was the reason why it was very difficult. Because the labor force you use to remove the waste from the tractor, when you get to the dump site, most of our laborers died. Because they were dealing with hazardous waste, 1. 2, it was labor intensive, very high on them. They cannot sustain it. And how much were they paid? $50 and moved to $75. Today, how much are they paid? more than $200 to $300 a day. That's what they're receiving. So in actual sense, what we're talking about is this council is, you cannot compare it. So I'm appealing to all of them. The young abandonment issue, I will not talk about it. No, the reason why I don't want to talk about it, they know. And so many issues.
But we don't know.
None of those three browsers are in use. Go to annex today. How can you procure a vehicle and it's not roadworthy? It has not serviced council a day. And how much do you spend? $12 million. Taxpayers' money. Under this capacity as community service officer before, and then promoted to assistant manager, and gradually then finally community services manager. My work is the people. That's what I know, and that's what I do. But I am telling you that Mutlamin Baji, I'm advising you, don't mention my name again, because what I'm going to say next, you won't like it. And anyone among them. That's why the rest don't mention my name, because they know very well. We all came here together as policymakers, and we know so many things. Let the sleeping dog lie. Let them come and support Tali in its development agenda. It's second to none. In those days, you go to the markets, you see maggots everywhere. I have the pictures in my laptop. I have gone around everywhere in this community. You go to Sol Samba Street, very close to the primary school. Maggots very close to the classrooms. Bakau Market the same. Independence Stadium opposite. Waste is everywhere. Ibo Town, you go to Talinding. You go to Latrikunda, behind. Charles Yao is the worst. Even the students can attest that. My friend, we're not talking about that. When this council came to power in 2018, we have seen what they have done for the people of this municipality, saying that they should not ask for payment on waste collection. That's why we didn't do well in those days. That's why anywhere you go, you see maggots. Waste is, we cannot manage waste because we allow people generate waste and they don't pay for the services. In every developed country, you go to England, people pay rates, but yet you collect their waste and they pay at the same time. If you generate waste, you have to pay for it, to manage it. That's why we could not even have 1, 2, 3 vehicles that were roadworthy in those days as revenue, as waste collectors, as waste collection vehicles. But today, how many vehicles? Brand new, compactors. If you look at our rent, the amount of money we spend in those days on hiring, you'll be surprised. Even at the dump site. Giving contract to people, Ajamsek and others, they forgot so soon. Contracts were given to people here who were staffs of KMC. They forgot so soon. They forgot so soon that contracts were given to people who were staffs of KMC before, in those days. and contracts in millions. Records can show you. Dressing the dump site. And when they know that the money is going higher, because in contracts, there is a ceiling. They will break it into 2 or 3 slots. There is no point to elaborate on those things. What I will advise them is let the sleeping dog lie. This is not politics, this is development. Let them allow development practitioners to do their work. It's not a point of caricaturing each other here. On tribal issues, let them just shelf it. They cannot gain any political score, as far as that is concerned. The people of this municipality are conscious now. They know what used to obtain and what is obtaining now. Everybody knows that here. Even you journalists knows that here. Today you come to this municipality, you come to this council, and before, some of you who are old enough to tell the story, what used to obtain is different from what is happening now. It is a very full-fledged institution that is efficient and that is doing its work without any interference. So my word of advice finally to them, Modlamin Baj, keep quiet. Keep quiet. How you obtain your BMW, keep quiet. Keep quiet, please. Please. We're not here to spend our time in talking to each other this way. What you mention in my name, I get so mad. Because you're not supposed to do that. You know me very well. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. Honorable Councilors, the press, and other people present here. As the former speakers spoke about the clarification about the mayoral board, I am one of the people who witnessed when that was happening, because I was next to mayor sitting, and next to me is the former councillor also at that ward. But I want to speak in the local language because it's important I speak to the women of KMC, because what I'm hearing, they try to play their mind to bring politics that giving them wrong information. And most of these women, maybe they won't understand the language I'm speaking. So if you can just let me come to the local language, I summarize. It's not only the clarification, but also what women of this KMC region got from our time in council. Thank you. Badi Maniko, Badi Gambianko, Badi Fualu, Badi Fulolu, Badi Yolalu, Badi Mayato, a day, two, more KMC Yang Sakamusoli. I mean, Dindinol Kamakatu Tebesiri, Wale Yanto Binemaronati. Nominated councillor, members in the Musoli council. Bediam to men me ya lon ko kuma fota jeto mo me ya lon ko mo bol ba na tikam iba ko kanyamen me yo diam ko ma ko men na I try to listen to all na because I see all the men so ko han o man soto kuma lo me ya lon fidin kumolo anyanta nga ko bay an me nyanta ko mo bay lan ko mo ko kam wolu bije da ka nyaala andu meyo mam pare fam kawdi am sifar bari ni te be siri yego ika kumal ko me yalon ko aman so ka dundi mon tudo kono kuka aje ko mo si kampa si bitu meyo la anini kanto woto meyo binale ay ko seneyan wala meyo kula dunna o diam ka ko ni te lota iko kaprin 1996 or 2009 ward London Corner ward will many be funded council development kono council namu do kulalu kuriye fanyi kabika ila namol jole ika contribute but nene me fanyi yo for ambite alo de woman to maso ye kumol ko e yalo ko iko altel kala namol jole woto al nyantale ye kumurunde al kay 60% men fo iko ite mo woji ko montine yala man so ntonte la former councilor ka be sirin dala kay ko ji yela mol moy le be men foka akon nyabule biam ate wol ntonta meyo ka meyo ko nye ko bine mbe wulla mbe je address la kumol le fota meliyalo ko meyo fay wul ay wol seneyandi momi kaje ko ikam men fo amanso kabla ko wala na ay seneyandi ro ako council membi jarnu tel mo bondi damento fo futata bima membe council ay wala fo mon wala ni kulle ka hen council jam me yalon ko amanya na kala ay men so ngamo mo be ko ta kala male me e men fo jamu subu wafi dulale tu bayol ka wafi jam ataya place lo anata fo nga julole taranya 9 million wo julo mune asab council amanke ko na taxpayers ñol ngadi wole bari julo bota damen ko ngaaje wolon ni hotelol andu wo hotelol anin birthday celebration president ola birthday wolo yaaja mela birthday wo kodol kata wole andu wo mol men ka ika hotelo jo wol mol men fanay imambo jardo ika bo Casamance le fota wulato bari siman ko je woto kana ka foko ibe ke si musol nenela pour ijakalta because ijakalta le yalo ne ko ite win na je ke si musol ti carte o dile so kana fo ibe plela ibo la main plela ke la main jakasi pour ko ite be win la nyame ena du nyin kan so katinya musolu baliama alkana sowon ikana la main mbe ku do fala albe batula ngadiya musoli e mengi from council kabilin tel nata jam kabilin sida men nene manke nte funti dale nga study toke ndata musol tarela tundol ka ke jube ye mune soto ye mun project le nene natika ibe muneto yela kole ya kol fonye kabri ya fonye ku fulamba fola men kafutela kole ya koto nga men tarañin tundoka wala ñinti iko yela suwol din kol si la suwol kone foy batata kela mbalito kije yo fo iko kam balito tale ya dulal sinne fo silam ila kordal kono e mandula soto ko de be damen sinna kam balito kije wo manke kuti me ya lon ko ila health la side a correcta because wala nanu malaria siata nyimba nata ye mune fo kote marché wol imam wafi blas mu kole ya kolti lafta marché wol ye kundi marché wol ko ika wafilo ke damen fana man ke de fana nataje ko dula koyrin te woti silol kan tay la femol kijeno accident si tarajel anda ka sotolen motol kana ka lom sol kay ka ika dol para maje yo fana fol anu kabidin nata ngaw futandi meyo fana wulta akati danna nadia modo anala kat silol be iyay kanyim banko kay meyo ranto musol ye ngamen be ko musol nata sirri meyo kabiri meyo nata ni sita janne general councilor mbal tentula mbal jayla anin na meyo ya lonko akati KMC musol jube e tarawo bata kati yala ne musol le kalwa musol le kal fasa musol le kal sindi ni sira wota nyanta lola andali e wolo la fasa le kabiri nata jam ngajele ko mbaliti ko abe bola musol kan ni nga topato nga motol nati al sontala mbal tentula wala mbal jayla anin na liga nemu meyoti ngamira ay musolu KMC musolu ay ñaafita marché wol ay marché wol mel bi janni ay warandi ay butikol kije ay seedol dada musoliye me yaalum koy si dum kono do yela wafiroke amanda wala ko bawo man siroke hankali ay mira do naati ako woto mbe marché woro wala fanan kafula jere me yaalum ko altel musol men kala namol je alkala jutijo ko kodo mbewtala mo marché o do ko wali ngaje ko tunda yela marché o soto me yalo ko musol te batala katu sere ko na make wo a kon gestale a fatale bake so marché wol men be tundol kan ni wol fanan ngeje ko nga marché wol lo jeto ibaje la ko wala lo be talala andu ngamira be wole kam be o marché wol fanan lola musoli ko no musoli e fay amanda wala ndena 100 million lon janni with the bank for microfinance to support the women andu musoli e fay e ko no ngakele fam aketa competition ot talindi wale for start musol melie lono nyinta asiata andu yajo ko lay nata muneke bank fa o kontante la ko la ko ay interest men tay bula ba mo ndide aya mo ndika nyenyi nin ka bari malla fi mo kilin dore ya benefit ngaje ko ngakuke me yalon ko o tundo mo bese a nafa so do musol nata muneko iko nga bakery lo and mo bakery na la nga foundation store kele abe karamo honorable karamo la side aba to patoka anu benna taxpayers mo be celebrate la ala baraka wo red carpet mba fene la le ye celebrate because they want to be celebrated ala baraka na tento ngal
no akanyan tamate. Good afternoon to you all. I recognize the president of the media. I will speak in the local language just to summarize what the Finance Committee here said in Mandinka for the benefits of the local listeners. Ntemu lamin ke jamelti Councilor Bakote Ward. Nata joska senendir ke wala ka yeleman ke domandin dron karamo e kuma kawan meni fojam men ka ni press conference ni o press conference for GB. Gambia dum nyantam kilo pula bakay because ni bugul ba during presidential election ni masi falel bota dembo bay parce ni amad babu fo e Gambia dingol ni laftan mo dam masakin la ñol wala wo tribal diamond say nga ñatli election o ko te wo tribal diam kilo wala lafta kanana so Gambia no ni mo be yambar la na hakilo mo be jam initio be le fututa wala initio be le relate ko ya wan many be lol wo political press conference order. Near the background here, they were all former APRC councillors. But where are they today? Well, they are Germany APRC jumper, it had going into NPP. So they cannot talk about Jolas or APRC because already to level jumper favorite. So to tell them, Kabul more Jakaspota. So more sort of using Hakilo. If Valanta Pullman la jump, Kodoli men kasaraka it will time and then Tiaru do medical. Yes, in the establishment of a committee, staff register and review, payroll on the Laka Jibe, head counting Kijan,
there are a lot of people list on many alonko in Mantara do kola KMC and the salary and interim management report for the list of them Jamala Bakon and was said there of the Latin General. Muna ne tulmela said there of seven to vental deal. Bakari Baji, how to call it, Modlamin Baji, at Lemonon Councilors, responsible of Finance Committee. At the form of Mo, I can call him Gonda Abulo Lejan. I follow Bondi Jane, Nindomo 200 at the form of Mo Economy, will come a fuller, will tell you, Akoya Jamela bad day, Akata spend well. I will come a Luboni, Ako independent, Akata well, Yajama independent, Tatma Banko independent, and Manra Hall of Futan, Proof Manna Hall of Futan. A motor for the Kai Hotel Lojo, Purka, Luntamal many alcohol, Legia Hotel, Badala Park Hotel, Purka, Bilojo, Akata Bank Transfer, Kata Hotel. A Musa Patake at a Kodota Marcel La Carola, Kodoman collect Marcel, when the Dallas will come and say anything. A cook at your transfer, a cultural festival, Akata will response at the other Okodo to welcome. But cultural festival will Jumalem. Min tolem ani wati jumala organize wol man sene foko do ba fa ji bokon ala fa na ko don babu banko la ko wala ma sendina na tra ay gambia kan janna bi ta sila ado ko mol fola min yalla ko amanso andu miro men ngani men bala wala ko prime murun nan jam ko take kana ko ko yalla mo timbal yalla tamanti anda ta keno ni nata ka fuko KMC mais on staff solar relation on be on hanni mo ko dum na la dal dum officer le ni ka tal na la do ko be nyaati so o mu kulati men yalon ko KMC la salary me ya il ko o time il la staff sol be ka jo million fulan ate o nyama rek o se me itali o time jor la ba me ya ke 1 million sabalati dum taworo anise ani dal skeme lo ni dal wo but when it beat mo central government Joe Lafake 30% of the salary. In Musa 2002, Joe Lafake 50% of the salary. A Musa transport allowance Lafake from 500 dollars Cameroon, Kata Wuli Cameroon. So new be adnoka, inata given to new in-taxment, come and Diamala municipal police, Mantara Sotarin, more created and more Cameroon from the local again. So Mbali project, bring Yama Poland, at get Kuntlan, a dry hole will be man sodom and you move more let me and the local and community level local and community and the service and Gambia di wala manta mali anta wala Guinea and wala Senegalese Gambia di wala and near the Joseph Gasabo Gambia family in there so automatically they are expected to pass in the far but at that time when from time man mo do Sanjela and India Sanjela from be la dala so automatically for na expenses la fa but ni na expenses la fa yoto but na revenue la hamuna le moto because for time on dolbina million keme ni million mo amna wala taraje to ko so sama ko highest sai to ka million keme fula million talu ni fenne soto directly woni grand tool men ya no ko mo la ma ko EU UN World Bank and so on that support men soto good muni atin ne la time mo e buka ni ko keno because dunya be mo networking han America the African network and China the African network and the Asia other countries will network pour be fenso to lewu nyali kire banko lirwan ni te mo miro ni wo hakilo soto no pour ye fenni ni wo molul pour ye be banko yirwan da nyame bare banko mol bugal na ya ta le kulle ka sam so mun ande mo miro no favor soto no e ka ko e kamen be spend abeka ke EU fund UN fund and mun ande ko soto no so and to ko men soto kala fa nyene ka anda ka dum do ko men ko na modde nyaka so kam time mo tata baken alta na tinta la time mo la barka baken kala
so okay thank you so much for coming and attending this press conference. Thank you so much.
Your question?
Yes, questions?
Yes. We have a press conference. We have no questions.
Yes. Questions?
Thank you very much for inviting us for the press conference. So my name is Phil. I'm a journalist working for Ghana. We've had your explanation and counter secondly, what will the council now do? Because of these people, if what you are saying, and I've seen some documents already, if some of what you are saying is true, will you take action? Will the council take action? The council have just come from taking action against central government. So, and that was for the council's benefit. They do it now for the people's benefit.
Okay, thank you so much. Most of the allegations that they are talking about against the mayor, I think maybe they don't understand their mode of operation, the way council works. A mayor single-handed, he does not do things individually, it is the council. So we find out that maybe they lose track. That's why they are seeing mayor and deceiving the public, the general public, or the residents of KMC. Mayor does not, I mentioned it here, mayor does not vote in a resolution, unless I do that. And all these resolutions are done by the general council. So them accusing the mayor, that is wrong. And then mayor, just like we mentioned, mayor does not say, like, in fact, available any staff here, or in fact, demote any staff here, and so on. So the other question we are talking about.
Why was he not here? Is there any reason why he's not here?
Yes, because recently, today, he is busy at some of the activities. That's why he was not around. But hopefully, just like there are other statements that in fact he already answered. I think if you listen to some of the resolutions, he was there on the interview, and then trying to clarify some of the allegations. So, and then again, for the reason why we don't take some of these people to court.
No, whether you will, because I know this is all coming up now.
Yes,
Allegations.
during the time we came in the office, we were so much busy because there was an outcry all over, most especially in terms of waste management. Because these donkey carts are the ones doing more of this waste collection, and then they are charging people more. So for us, we don't have that much opportunity or time to be witch hunting people. Otherwise, some people may see it as a vision. But now, as far as these documents are available, we will also take some legal action against them. Thank you.
So I just wanted to also. Yes, so I just wanted to answer your first question also, just to what Mr. Wadi has already said. Yes, in as much as most of the allegations were directed to the mayor, because one, I'm sure you know that in 2 months we're heading into elections. And what they're trying to do is how do they try to, because currently Mayor Bensouda has the popular support. What they are trying to do is how do they destabilize that and how do they shift that? That's one. Two, the reason we as councillors are here today is that because these are general council resolutions. A lot of the changes that have been done when we came, the mayor didn't vote in any of the in any single resolution that happened. The minutes are with our clerk, and I'm sure that if you need them, because these are public documents, he can also furnish you with them. So we as councillors who have made this decision are here, and we are the ones who are answering to most of the allegations they have done. Even though they directed it to the mayor, we are here to answer because we took those decisions. Thirdly, we have, like you have said, if we're going to take any action, we will consult our legal team. We will, like I said earlier, the mayor, before we came to council, AB and Co were our legal legal aids. Since we came, because of the conflict of interest that we spotted, we have changed that.
When? Can you tell us when that changed?
In 2018. Our first general council we had, the mayor put it out to us that my mother's company is the legal representative of the council. I cannot let that happen because then it is conflict of interest. From then, we also sought to now our legal practitioner is Yasin Sengo. We will get in touch with her. We will discuss as a council, and if there's need for decisions to be taken, and I'm sure there are needs for decisions to be taken, and people to answer for what they have done, we will do what's right. Thank you.
Because, like you said, accountability.
Yes.
So,
yes, this is why I'm
accountability
saying, yes.
to happen.
Exactly, and this is why I have said that we will consult our lawyer, and whatever decision should be taken will be taken with legal advice and legal steps. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to buttress on the third question you asked about the reports, whether we will take illegal actions against any embezzlement or the embezzlement that were happening. If you look, when the interim committee 2018, the interim committee came, this report was given to the president, was given to the minister. All these facts are there. So but they turned deaf ears on these reports. They did not want to establish any commission because if you look at the constitution of Gambia, only the president has right to set up the commission. You know, the other commissions like there is a process, but the president can rely on the constitutions and set up a commission. So all those things were there since 2018. The reports, if you look at the interim committee reports, the embezzlements, everything, you will share this information with every journalist here because we have the soft copy. So that you go over, you will see a lot of things there. The taxpayers' money was using, come on, individuals and groups and political parties are using it. Come on, we said before, we have to bring standard to KMC. We introduce quarterly audit report for KMC every year 4 times. So these were all the adjustments we made here. So the people that did press conference yesterday, what they are saying, they have no proof, but for us, everything we says here, we have proofs. We have proofs on our phones and the copies are there. Even the office of the class, like I always said, I say here is a public institution. Every document should be accessible to the public because this is a public institution. So we will share those informations with every journalist that come here today. Thank you.
My name is Hassan from TV, but I prefer to speak.
Can you please?
Okay. My name is Alassane jógee TV. Lu ma bëgg a wax mooy démb bu ñu demee ci conférence bi gars yi dafa am lu ñu waxoon ñu ne comme lay su nekkee ne da ngeen weddi ñoom lu ñu wax su nekkee pare ngeen am debate yéen ñaar debate bi
xam nga soo ñëwee affaire debate ok voilà soo ñëwee affaire debate ñun ragaluñ debate because ñun yëpp gis nga ni ñun amuñ dara lu ñëw lu fii public institution su fekkee ne private la loolu suma private kër la waaye naka tudda liggéeyi KMC war nga nekk sutura lu ñoo def ak lu ñoo spend public bi daf ko war a xam waaye ñun interim committee report bi ñun nañ koo si ak yéen sa ngeen seen boppa ngeen gisal seen boppa ne ñii lan lañ fi defoon su fekkee ne am na registre yoo xam ne bëggu ñoo àgga foofu noonu waaye su fekkee ne dafa dem was kemoon ñun we have our proofs so su fekkee ne dañ bëgg a loolu dem mën nañ àgga this level because ñun lii nekk suma personal naka tudda business or suma personal property I believe ne gars yi tamit the same thing lii public bi lañ nekk di saaf su fekkee ne public bi dafa nit pour ngay xam then nañ bring receipts yi yëpp nañ bring budgets yi yëpp nañ bring all the reports requests yi yëpp nañ ko isi incha allah.
waaw just pour ma wax rek ñun débeetuñ ak kenn lii du yëfi lii is not subjective li nga xam ne la si paper la nekka su gars yi di debate nañ leen debate with the proof yi nga xam ne moo nekk si document KMC du place bi nga xam ne dañoo ñëw pour foo pour caaxaan waa kii moo wax li kii waxut yële ñun comme lu ñu wax rek ak nu ko suma naataango bi waxee dinañ leen jox documents yëpp yoo leen soxla yéen as journalist te Gambien yi ngeen a jox information Gambien yi xam nañ lan mooy dëgg ak xam nañ lu dul dëgg suñu leen joxee information bi ngeen dem teg yéen ñu te tamit ñu ngee ñaan ngeen jàngal ko si seen news yi si local languages yi pour nit yi xam ne lii moo fi dox so ay debate yow yaa def lii wala def loolu for now is a waste of time ñun we are focused on delivering pour suñ nit ñi liggéey la ñu am because tey sax pour def press conference bi sax tax na 2 or 3 hours yi nga xam ne mënoon nañ ko def lu productive pour mu wécci suñ dundi nit ñi ñu ngi fii pour clear air bi so dem ak a ñëw bi loolu tam beneen waste time ñun we are not going to debate with anyone there are evidences there are proofs ku am problème ak loolu na dem fu mu war a dem waaye proofs yi na leen ko jox yéen ngeen yéen ngeen yóbbu ko ñi
am ñaar si dañu am
I have a clarification. You falsified the debt issue. So what I want to clarify is, are you saying that the council has no debt for 15 million or has no debt at all?
Currently,
Yes, that's what they said, that you're indebted.
What's that?
15 million.
What is the million? We have the finance chair.
Let the finance chair answer the question.
Okay, thank you so much for that information. Like I said, I'm the chairman of the finance committee. I'm not aware of any debt, word of that amount. If they have the proof, let them show and where and which institutions or which bank. Thank you.
So are you in any debt?
I'm not aware of that.
You are not in debt right now?
Right now, I'm not aware of any council being in debt.
But you are the chairman, right?
Yes.
If you are not aware of it, then how possible could that be?
That answers the question. That was
So you're saying you're not in debt?
Yes, during our investigation, our accounts were closed and we are implementing the 2023 budget. So I don't see anything like a debt payment or we in fact for a particular, because I hear some rumors that we are taking loans to the banks to pay salary. All those things are not clear. Yeah, so thank you.
I have a question. I'm Dara Gane from the Fast Network. The local government elections, particularly the councilors election, is just at the corner. And some of you standing in front of here, your names are painted red. You are accused of collecting monies on behalf of your wards without using it for the development purpose. How are you going to clear your names to ensure that you gain the trust of the electorate as far as you are going to campaign for votes in this time?
Okay, I think all the councillors are here. We have 19 WDC offices that are operational for the first time in the history of KMC. And then each office is being allocated $200,000 for you to for the operation of the WDC and then for you to carry about some local projects within your work. So these monies, it is paid in phases. Like every 6 months you are giving 100,000, the other one 100,000. It's not like you have been at the end like January you are giving 200,000. No, maybe around February you are giving 100,000. Before the end of the year you are giving another 100,000. So before this 100,000 will be given to you, maybe the first one you have, if you should come for the second one, you must retire. So all these evidences are there, how those monies have been used. Like for myself, if you go to Talent, I carry projects that are worth of millions. If you check the time KMC start giving out these monies, in fact, if you amount everything, it's about 800,000. One of my single projects is millions. And in fact, I brought items to the country that you know that they are in fact benefiting the central government. Thank you.
So how are you going to clear your names to ensure that you...
So for me, my electorates know. They see the projects that I conduct, that I do in my work, they are visible. They are not like they are under the river. Yes, these projects are visible. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I think what people need to understand, KMC, none of the council is a signatory to his WDC account. Councillors have right to make a request that this is what I want, but they will pay it to the WDC account, which the secretary and the treasurer are the signatory to those accounts. You know, the councillor, I'm not a signatory of any of my accounts. My WDC treasurer and the secretary, if I want anything, I will write to them and tell them this is what I want, and they will procure it. The only thing I have business is the receipts. So most of the information, because we saw a lot of requests on how to call it, on Facebook, on the social media circulating. Every councillor have right to make a request. Come on, for example, today, if my people want something, I will write a request. The WDC, you can confirm with the clerk of council. The 200,000 is for the office use. And at times, councillors use it for development purposes. What can 200,000 do? But just, you know, it's just that we are on a political season and they are using these things, you know, to destroy our image or whatsoever for a political point. But honestly, none of the councillors here is a signatory. And for me, if you come to my ward, come on, we saw former councillors, we did not find anything. Some of the councillors, we created a bank account, and ourselves, we were advised not to be a signatory in those accounts. So these are politically motivated, they are not founded, they are just a mere talk. And I believe the people of our wards, you know, they know if we bring development to their doorsteps or not. Exactly. So that is the most important thing.
Thank you very much. Well, just to put this little bit about what my fellow councillors are saying. I don't want to mention, but some of the journalists are here. They are part of my development committee. So no, I don't want to mention the name. But No. Just for clarification. They know how I use my phone at my ward level. So, just what people are saying outside, that they are, councils are giving 200,000 and they are not doing any development. Well, those are business. Do not listen to them. This is what I'm saying.
Can we have 2 more questions and then
One. It's finished. It's even finished.
My question, you have a question? Or you don't want journalists to ask questions? Are you a journalist?
Just one.
Sometimes, let's leave it, talk about it. So this is just about, basically right now, KMC councils are all under pressure. It's with regards to, if you could just clarify, because obviously there's a lot of things going on about KMC right now, all the councils. But we saw some information that the Welfare Association is about to take legal action. And there was a 7-day period in the letter, which I read. Now, I want to know, that time, I believe that 7-day period has now elapsed. And if you can give us an update.
Well, that is a staff issue.
Yes.
I was going to say that's a staff issue.
Yes.
As councillors, we have tried our best not to interfere in what the staff do. Exactly. The KMC is is made up of 2 sections. You have the administration and you have the general council. So it is like you have the executive and then you have the legislative. We are the legislative arm of the region.
Okay. So none of you guys are.
You can see Latin Camara.
Yes. So maybe when you go out, you might meet one or 2 of the staff association and they can answer.
Thank you.
So we want to thank you all for coming. This will be the end of the press conference. Thank you very much.
dama ne junjug rek na gar mi day waaj waa fan la fii la ci qualité Getzner and moo bi lan la seetal Getzner yaa ngi nii boroda yaa ngi nii mu ne déedéet boroda jigéen rek di ko sol damay indi boroda jigéen indi boroda góor laaw la cat kii daal ne na xam nga lu muy bañ ñoo dugg ci bitig bi ne nangam lay ut ñu ne amut lépp lu jigéen di soxla rek mu ngi ci bitig bii rawat na nag tubaarikàlla scrub yi nga xam ne moo xew si jamono ndax nee na buggatul benn yaram yàqu scrub yaa ngi nii body scrub yi face scrub yaa ngi day and night loo bugg rek ci jigéen mu ngi ci bitig bii cuuraay yaa ngi fi house spray yaa ngi fi waaye foundation yi ana powder yi qualité Getzner fii nag la am ci Westfield qualité Getzner nëbuwul maa ngi ni kuy nëbbatu du ko wax mu ngi ne fanga ca kaw nag koolaat 753 4495 25 00 124 ñaari nomba yi boo ci oo ñu uyu la xale yaa ngi fi koo laaj mu waxal la qualité Getzner and